A global first, Covaxin is recommended for children as young as 2-year-old by expert committee. Final approval will be given by the Drug Controller General of India. COVID cases are at a new low, but crowds at Puja pandals spark concern. Kolkata's popular Burj Khalifa pandal shuts down its laser light show to manage surging crowds. Prime Minister slams what he calls some people's selective approach to human rights. Rights body chief praises Amit Shah, says the minister has propelled a new era in Jammu and Kashmir. 5 soldiers dead in Jammu and Kashmir in the villages of Punjab. The families mourn. 3 of them were farmers' sons. They laid down their lives for India. In Uttar Pradesh, final prayers offered for farmers and journalists who were killed in Lakhimpur Kheri. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Jayant Chaudhary attend. Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Rohit Wellington. Let's begin with our top story. An expert panel on Tuesday recommended Covaxin, Bharat Biotech's COVID-19 vaccine, for use on children between the ages of 2 and 18. In a statement, Bharat Biotech said that this represents one of the first approvals worldwide for COVID vaccines for the 2 to 18 age group. The final approval, viewed as a mere formality, will be given by the Drug Controller General of India.
Covaxin has been recommended for use in children over 2 years of age by the Expert Committee on Vaccines. If approved by the Drugs Controller General, the indigenous vaccine will become one of the first in the world approved for use in children so young. Malini Prasad is a single mother to 2 children, Rayansh, who is 7, and Ahana, who is 11 years old. All 3 of them caught COVID during the second surge, and Malini spent a dreadful 90 days in the ICU. The possibility of vaccinating her 2 kids and even her 2-year-old niece Meera is a relief. But she is also cautious because of the lack of publicly available data.
I would definitely want to get both my kids vaccinated, against COVID. So during the second wave of COVID, it took a heavy toll on us, me and my family.
The government expects emergency approval from the drugs controller soon.
2 से 18 के उम्र के बीच में उनके लिए ये जो ट्रायल चल रहे हैं, ये जो सेफ्टी मेजर्स को ध्यान में रखते हुए ये उसका इम्यूनोजेनिसिटी क्या है, और ये सभी जब रिपोर्ट्स आते हैं, ट्रायल्स होते हैं, तभी हम ये कर पाते हैं. उसके बाद अप्रूवल होने जाएगा और तब जाके ये मिलेगी.
Bharat Biotech, in a statement, thanked the DCGI, the Subject Experts Committee and the CDSCO for their expedited review process. They also said that they await further regulatory approvals from the CDSCO prior to product launch and market availability of Covaxin for children. This is the same vaccine as the one already being administered in adults, but Bharat Biotech, the manufacturer, had conducted trials in children. A doctor involved in these trials said that final results of the trial are still pending.
I can't comment on the data, but age group of children involved, like in the first, there were 3 groups. The first group constituted of children between 12 to 18 years, second group 6 to 12 years, and third group 2 to 6 years. Went smoothly, and I can say it's the same vaccine. Already safety and immunogenicity effectiveness demonstrated, we have already demonstrated in adult population.
The recommendation of Covaxin for use in children would be a great relief for parents, especially those who have children with comorbidities. But parents, doctors and many others still have questions, especially on the data, which they are looking to Bharat Biotech and the government to answer for. With Pavan Kumar, Meher Pandey for NDTV.
Now, at a time when India is racing to complete 1 billion vaccine doses, a peculiar challenge has come up. That is of vaccine complacency. In Telangana, lakhs of people due for a second dose are not turning up for it. Uma Sudhir tries to find out why.
Venkatalakshmi sells lemon soda on Hyderabad's Tank Bund. The 50-year-old admits her second dose of COVID vaccine is overdue. But she could not shut shop to get her shot and lose out on the 300 rupees she makes daily that supports her family of 4. Plus, COVID did not seem so dangerous anymore.
ఏ నెల నా చదువు రాదు కదా ఏ నెల అని అర్థం కాదు నాకు ఫస్ట్ వేసిరు కానీ ఇప్పుడు రెండోది వేయించుకోవాలి మాకే టైం దొరకలేదు పోవడానికి ఇంకా ఇక్కడ వస్తాం పొద్దున్న లేచి ఇంకా వాడికి పోయలేక ఎప్పుడు వేస్తారో ఏమో అని ఇంకా లేదు తగ్గిపోయిందిలే అంత ఏం లేదు కానీ టీవీలలో చెప్తూనే వార్తలలో ఉన్నాయి ఆడ ఉన్నాయి అని చెప్తున్నారు.
Just in Telangana, there are 25 lakh people like Venkatalakshmi for whose second dose is past due date but has not been taken either because of complacency or lack of awareness and accessibility.
Due beneficiaries who has not yet got their second dose, we have taken up a special vaccination drive. We have taken out the list of the beneficiaries, all the due eligible beneficiaries list has been taken and shared with all the vaccination centers. Now we are trying to identify these people and mobilize them to the nearest vaccination center.
Across the country, in October, 1 in 4 persons due for a second dose missed out on it. Other than reaching out in a targeted manner to the second dose due beneficiaries, Telangana and Kerala have also asked the Union Health Minister to in fact reduce the gap between the two doses for Covishield so that maximum protection can be achieved in minimum time. With Meher Pandey in Delhi, Uma Sudhir in Hyderabad for NDTV.
Now, the Burj Khalifa Pandal of Kolkata, temporary abode of goddess Durga, shut down its laser lights show on Tuesday evening to manage surging crowds. This at the request of the police, who said that the flashing lights were slowing down crowd dispersal. Now, some pandals are witnessing massive crowds, and doctors who have been fighting COVID for the last 18 months are alarmed at the sight of the thronging crowds. The shocker is hundreds of unvaccinated children too have joined the parents in the pandal hopping spree.
The lights were the biggest draw, flashing from the 150-foot, and the Durga Puja's organizing head, the Minister for Fire Services, Shujit Bose, had to toe the line, switch the strobe lights off.
बहुत बढ़िया बुर्ज खलीफा बनाया है, लेकिन हमें अफसोस इस बात की है कि कम से कम जो लाइटिंग है वो देख नहीं पाया हम. जो लाइटिंग है वो आज बंद है. वो लाइटिंग बंद है, पता नहीं कुछ कल भीड़ ज्यादा रहा होगा, इस कारण से बंद है वो इतना मेहनत करके हम लोग आए, लेकिन हमें अफसोस इस बात की है.
वो लाइटिंग ही नहीं देख पाए हम, क्या करें.
The video of the crowds went viral earlier this week. Tuesday evening was no different at Burj Khalifa, Kolkata, a near stampede to see the Dubai landmark along with unvaccinated children.
क्या करेगा बच्चा, तो घर पर कोई नहीं है, बच्चा लेके तो जाना पड़ेगा. डर क्या करेगा, घूम नहीं घूमेगा, घूमना तो होगा.
डर तो लग रहा है, इसको मास्क पहना के लेके आया, लेकिन वैक्सीनेट नहीं है, हम थोड़ा पीछे खड़े हैं इसके लिए खाली में.
The COVID situation is improving. Now the situation may deteriorate for the time being, but we are following the safety precaution, and as we are following the safety precaution, the situation will be good. That is what is expected.
COVID super spreaders, that's what many doctors are calling these crowd puller pandals, where for a few moments visitors may feel they have arrived in Dubai, but chances are many may soon have to take a trip to the hospital. With G.D. Shankar, Monideepa Banerjee, NDTV.
The other big story, a quote-unquote selective approach to human rights dents the country's image. That's what Prime Minister Modi said on Tuesday as he lashed out at what he called some who viewed human rights with an eye on political gains and loss and were therefore harming democracy. At the same event, the rights body chief praised Amit Shah, saying that the minister had propelled a new era in Jammu and Kashmir.
Human rights are the basic rights and freedoms that are guaranteed to all human beings from the moment a human life is born.
The Prime Minister has hit out at what he calls selective outrage over human rights, saying that viewing human rights from political lens is dangerous for democracy.
मानव अधिकार का बहुत ज्यादा हनन तब होता है जब उसे राजनीतिक चश्मे से देखा जाता है. इस तरह का सेलेक्टिव व्यवहार लोकतंत्र के लिए भी उतना ही नुकसानदायक है.
At the 28th anniversary of the National Human Rights Commission, its chief, retired Supreme Court Justice Arun Mishra, praised Union Home Minister for bringing in a new era in violence-hit places like Jammu and Kashmir and parts of the Northeast.
मुझे माननीय गृह मंत्री श्री अमित शाह जी का हार्दिक अभिनंदन करने में प्रसन्नता हो रही है। आपके अथक प्रयासों से जम्मू कश्मीर व उत्तर पूर्व में शांति व कानून व्यवस्था के लिए एक नए युग का सूत्रपात हुआ है।
2014 से जब से परिवर्तन हुआ और नरेंद्र भाई इसके नेतृत्व करने लगे, प्रधानमंत्री बने, तब से एक ऐसे क्षेत्र पर उनका ध्यान गया जो ह्यूमन राइट के सारे अधिकारों की बात करने वालों की नजर के बाहर था।
The Human Rights Commission has solved over 20 lakh cases in 28 years and has awarded around 205 crores as compensation to those who have faced injustice since inception. Reacting sharply to the remarks of Justice Mishra, the NHRC chief and Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Shah, Congress Rajya Sabha MP Jairam Ramesh tweeted, the Prime Minister and Home Minister have made a mockery of human rights since their Gujarat days. Now they are joined in the Jugalbandi by Chairman of NHRC no less, a judge who sat in judgment on his own earlier order and claimed no conflict of interest. The democratic space in India continues to shrink.
When lakhs of under-trial prisoners are languishing in jails for years without bail, including some of the young dissenting voices merely for protesting against the government, the human rights activists say the chief of the constitutional body missed an opportunity to hold a mirror to the highest political executives on human rights violations. With camera person Sachin Gupta, this is Aravind Gunasekar for NDTV.
Now, this at a time when there have been multiple anti-terrorist operations in Jammu and Kashmir in the last 36 hours. 5 soldiers have died during an encounter. The families in Punjab are mourning. 3 of them were from farmer families. They laid down their lives for the country.
The last goodbye to the 5 army personnel, including a junior commissioned officer who lost their lives in a gunfight with terrorists during an operation in Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir on Monday. Among them, Naib Subedar Jaswinder Singh, Naik Mandeep Singh and Sepoy Gajjan Singh, all from farming families from Punjab. Their deaths come at a time when protesting farmers are often reviled as terrorists. Sepoy Gajjan Singh's family is still in shock. Youngest of 4 siblings, Gajjan got married just 4 months ago. And this photograph, where he held the Farmers Union flag at his wedding in February, has gone viral.
ये खेती का ही काम है, खेती है ये जो है मंडी में ये तो मेहनत मजदूरी है वो करता है परिवार, और शादी में वो जब सुबह को बारात जाती है तो उस टाइम पे किसानी का झंडा लेके गुरुद्वारा में मत्था टेक के वो शादी के लिए गए थे.
39-year-old Naib Subedar Jaswinder Singh was also from a farming family, a family that has sent many generations to the army. In 2006, Naib Subedar Jaswinder Singh had been awarded the Sena Medal for his role in killing 3 terrorists in Kashmir.
ये तकरीबन जो हमारा परिवार है ये सभी सैनिक परिवार है. अगर हम शहीद जसविंदर सिंह के डैडी की बात करें तो वो भी फौज से कैप्टन रैंक लेकर रिटायर हुए थे.
Coming from humble background, these men died in the line of duty. Their families and relatives feel that the government should continue to look after those who have been left behind. With Mohammad Ghazali, Rohit Wellington for NDTV.
In Uttar Pradesh, final prayers were offered for farmers and journalists killed in Lakhimpur Kheri. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Jayant Chaudhary were in attendance. Alok Pandey reports.
Prayers and politics in Lakhimpur at this condolence meeting for 4 farmers and journalists murdered last week allegedly by Ashish Mishra, the now arrested son of MOS Home Ajay Mishra. The meeting was attended by the Congress's Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and the RLD's Jayant Chaudhary, but both did not go on stage. Farmers have announced a prolonged agitation till the resignation of the union minister, and leading their charge is Rakesh Tikayat.
आंदोलन चलते रहेंगे हमारे। उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने जो कहा कि जो हमारा काम थे हमने कर दिए, अब भारत सरकार के काम है वो हमारे हाथ में नहीं है। तो ये समझौता सब लोगों की मौजूदगी में हुआ, अकेले हम नहीं थे, 9 लोग हमारे सेंटर के थे।
All along the route from Lucknow to Lakhimpur, these banners took a swipe at the Congress and the Gandhi family for their lead role in the Lakhimpur protests, calling the party the perpetrators of the anti-Sikh riots. This tweet with photos of the banners was shared by UP Chief Minister Adityanath's media advisor. The one question that everyone is asking is what happens to the political futures of Ajay Mishra and his son Ashish. Now, if you go around this area, particularly Nighasan, you will find that banners and posters of Ashish Mishra are splattered across. He wanted to contest the Vidhan Sabha polls from the Nighasan assembly seat. Now, of course, it remains to be seen whether the party will allow that given the gravity of the charges against him. Virendra Mishra, a long-time BJP worker and the only one willing to go on record, claims the BJP's political graph has not gone down over the Lakhimpur incident.
ऐसे उम्मीदवार हैं, अगर निर्दलीय लड़ जाएंगे तब भी जीत जाएंगे। अब ये उनकी विचारधारा है, लड़े न लड़े। आपको ईमानदारी से क्षेत्र की जनता की आवाज बता रहा हूँ, यहाँ पे भाजपा का ग्राफ बिल्कुल गिरा नहीं है। भाजपा यहाँ जीतेगी, लेकिन अब जैसे कुछ लोग बताते हैं कि मान लीजिए किससे मंत्री पद ले लिया जाएगा, ये इस चीज के क्षेत्र में बहुत बड़ी मतलब वो है।
For now, it appears the BJP is backing Ajay Mishra. Sources say no action is likely till the UP police completes its probe against Mishra's son. In Lakhimpur with Prateek Srivastav and camera person Vineet Verma, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Welcome back. Amid concerns over coal supply and many states flagging worries about power outages, Union Minister for Coal Prahlad Joshi on Tuesday said that the country had a record coal supply and that Coal India and the Coal Ministry are making full efforts to meet the country's demand.
The Prime Minister stepping in to try and resolve India's power shortfall triggered by coal shortage. At the meeting held in the Prime Minister were present all concerned ministries. While there were no official details of what transpired, the Coal Minister promised to ensure no further shortage. This is not the first time the Minister had made such assurances. He's done so in the past few days. But state governments continue to raise concerns of possible outages.
1.95 million ton we have supplied, I think. In the history of India, Indian coal, this is the ever highest supply we have made, and I am assuring this supply will be continued.
मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि उनको हम एक्स्ट्रा बिजली दो, हम बिल्कुल नहीं मांग रहे। NTPC से जो हमारे उनके साथ समझौते हुए हैं, पूरी दे दे बस, अपना उत्पादन को कम ना करें।
ನಿನ್ನೆ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸಚಿವರು ಮಾತನಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಒಂದು ಈಗಿರೋ ಸಪ್ಲೈದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೇವೆ, 4 ರೇಟುಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ.
The opposition stepped up its attack, raising concerns over poor management of Coal India, the biggest government-run coal producer.
क्या आपको नहीं मालूम था कि ये स्थिति पैदा होगी? कोल इंडिया लिमिटेड जब हमने सरकार छोड़ी तो 40,000 करोड़ रुपए थे उसके पास, आज 10,000 करोड़, वो 30,000 करोड़ रुपए क्या नई माइनिंग डेवलपमेंट के में लगाए गए?
With the Prime Minister now said to be personally monitoring the situation, it remains to be seen whether the coal supply issue will find a swift resolution. In New Delhi, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.
Now, as winters approach, one of the concerns in the national capital is that of pollution, and one of the contributors to that is stubble burning in Punjab and other neighbouring states. But data now suggests that there have been fewer stubble fires in 2021 in Punjab compared to last year. What do farmers say? Mohammad Ghazali reports.
This is stubble burning going on after sunset, because farmers come out in numbers, they burn their stubble. The story remains the same every year, while the government keeps issuing press statements, and the government claims, the Punjab government claims that they have given enough machinery, they have set up enough custom hiring centers who give this machinery to farmers on hiring. But what we can see here clearly is one farmer in his field is burning the stubble. And when we asked him that why he is doing it, he says the same story every year, that the governments keep assuring us of assistance, be it the monetary assistance or about giving machinery, but he doesn't trust them. We will speak to him. इधर आइए. अच्छा ये बताइए कि आप लोग मशीन क्यों नहीं लेते हैं जो सरकार दे?
मशीन बहुत मिलती नहीं इधर. हाँ सिक्योरिटी में आती है, वो नहीं मिलती. वो खसन में है 3 किलोमीटर दूर में.
And that's it on this bulletin from the entire team. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.